Well, I was actually born in the UP in a little town that doesn't exist anymore. It was called Stambo, Michigan. And but while I was growing up, my family moved 8 times before I got out of high school. And so I spent a lot of time in different places and did most of my growing up in Virginia, which even though my husband, Rem, says I'm a Youper, I said only by birth, not by growth. I learned later in life that it helped me adapt. I mean, you have to start over, make new friends, make new plans, and so it actually worked well for me, even though I didn't much like it when I was growing up, but it did serve me well. When I graduated from high school in Florida, I was living in Florida at the time, I went to the University of Michigan. Can I get a go blue from everybody? And then I graduated, and I have a degree in history and classical archaeology, which, as my father said, what does that do for you? So, but that's where I met my husband, Rem, fellow Rotarian, and we got married, and he started medical school. I worked in an insurance company for Hartford Insurance and a smaller one in Bloomington when we were there. And then we moved to back to Ann Arbor for his residency, and then we moved to Muskegon, Michigan in 1981. And I was excited that I was going to be in a place that I could be for a long time, and I've enjoyed that too. Rem and I are the proud parents of 4 children. We have 3 sons, 1 daughter, and then we also have 6 grandchildren. We have 5 boys and 1 girl, and they're the joy of our lives now, and we travel a lot to see them and stay as close as we can because everybody's spread out. Nobody's right here. I was very involved with raising 4 children, as you would guess, and I tried to stay involved and help them with all their various activities, which actually was my introduction to theater. They all did school musicals, and I worked on that for about 12 years, 10 years, something like that, doing production roles, handling the finances and all that kind of stuff that goes along with that. Obviously, the financial side, management type side are skills that I hope to use as responsible for running board meetings and conducting the business meetings each week. It taught me skills to be working with a wide variety of people, especially people that are volunteers. It is a different dynamic and actually a great source of pleasure to be collaborative and help people do their best, and we all work together to serve a common purpose. My first introduction to Rotary was actually through Rem, who's been a member much longer than I have, and I was always impressed with what I saw and what they did. And then when I became managing director at Muskegon Civic Theater, I had the opportunity to become a Rotarian myself. That was back in 2005. Dick Morgenstern was my sponsor, and he wanted me to get the benefit of Rotary collaborations, meeting people that can help and that we can help. And, that has served me well through the years, engaging, learning about all the businesses and nonprofits in our area, all that they bring to our Rotary Club, lots of different areas of focus and concerns, but we all work together for a common purpose to make our community a better place. I do think that, obviously, this was before I joined, but it used to be, it was business leaders, exclusively men, till, I guess, about mid-'80s maybe. And then I think as the club evolved, starting with a few women, we've really embraced the idea of the diversity, that we need voices from the entire community. So, in terms of different groups in our community, besides gender, there's a lot of diversity now in our club, and we continue to work on that. And I think that, we realize that to help make our community better, unless all voices can have input in seeking solutions, we don't arrive at the best possible solution that we can without that input, seeking to be informed by other voices than our own. One of the worldwide focuses that almost every Rotarian is aware of is our work on eradicating polio. And we're almost there. As we keep saying, we're this close, and it gets a little closer. But, it's not completely gone, but we're really, really close and working on it. But that effort started back in, I think it was 1986. And I was reminded of a quote that Rem and I explored recently for another group, which is a quote from St. Francis of Assisi that says, if I could take a read so I don't mess it up, start by doing what is necessary, then what is possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. And I sort of, that really speaks to Rotary for me, how they approach a problem and how we do in our own communities through collaboration and working together to solve a problem. And so I really want to continue to do that and help others think locally, but think bigger too. And that's my goal. As I started thinking about this, because I know every president has their theme and the areas of focus they want to share with the club, so I started thinking, what do I want to do? And as I've been the Rotary Foundation chair for several years now, I've learned about how much more there is to Rotary than just our own local club. Our own local club is just a wonderful introduction to how we can all learn to serve our community. But by being a Rotarian, we're part of a worldwide community. And the Rotary Foundation seeks to have us realize how big our reach can be by working together for these problems. So they have 7 areas of focus that they concentrate on, and throughout the Rotary year, different areas of that focus are explored in a little bit more depth. So my thought, because we have so many new members, and even members that have been here for a while but might not still know that much about the foundation, that I could use my presidency to take those monthly themes and focus on a specific area of service that Rotary does in the world, doing good in the world. And so I think that can help us recognize what we do in our own community in this area and what we could do with a broader reach by going worldwide. So that's my hope, and that's what I'm going to be working on and what I'd like to share with the club.